Okay, follow-up review time. The BIC Performer 10'6", how does it handle in the surf? Now, the footage you're going to see is from my first ever attempt in the surf. I've been surfing for 20 odd years, but this is my first time putting a sup in the water in the waves. So what you're seeing now is the overview from my previous review, just the spec. I'm not going to go into great detail, but there it is on screen. Great Western Beach, Newquay, Cornwall. First time paddling out. It's a little terrifying first time. It was only 2-3 foot waves. Even as an experienced surfer, it is tricky getting out. I found the key is get on your feet, get in a semi-surf stance and just paddle through. Now when I say terrifying, that's not the board. The board is so buoyant, so much volume, it lets you get away with a lot. Love it. Now we'll show you quite a few of my rookie errors. There's one, don't take waves on, side on. After a couple of hours on this board, 2-3 foot waves, I started getting into the groove a little bit. Now my foot positioning is terrible. Like I say, this was my first day on a sup surfing, but the board was superb, is superb on the flat. So in the waves, you've just got to think about it a little bit more. It sits lower in the water than an ice sup. We're going to get to an ice sup versus composite review at some point, but for now, let's focus on the BIC. Now, because this board does have the Tough Tec, it's basically more durable, can take a few knocks. It is quite heavy. What you're seeing now is I was about to get dumped on, so I had to duck dive. There's no way I could have got back to the board, tried to get it over. Sometimes you've just got to duck dive it, rely on your leash. Now getting to my leash, now I was using the one supplied, it was a coiled leash, not the best idea. You'll see later on I went to a proper surf style leash, it's just safer. Talking about the board, how it handles on the wave, I did add 2 thruster fins. I took them off my Minimal, my 8-foot surfboard, and even though I'm driving pretty much straight at the beach here, there's no bottom turns, I was quite new to this. It did cut really well, it did dig in, it was really stable, the rocker is superb, I never nosedived. I'm a big fan of this board. Since filming this, I have surfed shorter composite boards, like 8, 9, even 10 footers. What I love about this board, it's like my Minimal. It's a catch-all. It will catch swell, it will catch small waves. Even if the waves are a little big and you do tend to drop, it will let you get away with it. So here you can see it's starting to track, hit the chop, and as long as you're nice and low, this board will let you get away with it. This is a superb beginner's surf sup. As a conclusion, huge fan of this board. It is my go-to general all-round board if I'm not sure how conditions are going to be. It just works. The only downside I found was the bungee points and the leash will tend to come undone. I don't know why I've got stuff on the front of my board there, there's no need, but on the flat and just tootling around, it's superb. The Tough Tec is handy, the grip pad maybe as a downside is a little too grippy. It did cause a few burns on my knees because I was falling on the board as a beginner, but it is exceptionally grippy, so that's my only downside, but it's also a pro because you're not going to slip off the board. Okay guys, thanks for checking this out. You can now see a link to the previous flat water review, and I'll catch you for the next one.